thing.
Hi, today what I want to take a look at today is a browser that I've been using for a little while now, and it's not massively known, but I think that's quite a shame because it is a fantastic browser that really has a lot of potential, and I think especially for some power users is one of the most powerful that you could kind of have access to, and also for creatives as well, I believe. So the browser in question is Vivaldi. Now, when most people say Vivaldi, you think of the composer, but very different topic. But Vivaldi is a Chromium based browser. So under the hood, it takes a lot of its core code and technology from Chrome and Chromium, but the Vivaldi team do make quite an effort to really tailor it and tinker with it in a way that makes it work a lot better than the kind of standard Chrome or Chromium. So the first few features I'm going to look at is really the appearance of it, which is one of the things that it kind of advertises up front in how to actually make it your own. So I've installed it already, but if you want to kind of download it, have a go to vivaldi.com, and then it should automatically detect the operating system you're using, but you can kind of download it for your specific OS as well. And also there is a Vivaldi beta on Android as well. Now, I don't use it on Android, but that's for more kind of ad blocking purposes, but try not to divulge too much on that front. So what I want to get into first is the customization of it. Now, as you probably see, I've got mine set to quite a dark theme, but within the settings menu, there's a couple of tabs. So you've got appearance and themes. So I'm just going to tackle appearance first. So under appearance, it looks like a lot of settings. That's because to some degree it is, at least compared to other browsers, but that's what makes it really quite different. So a few kind of basic settings here. So open settings in a tab and open pop-ups in tabs. So that's really just how the browser handles certain things. So personally, I like when you can have, especially for a browser, have the settings menu in a separate tab. That is because I think it just kind of keeps it out of the way, as opposed to it hovering over whatever might be in the background. I think to kind of focus and have all the settings in a separate tab all of its own just makes it a lot easier to focus on the settings you're looking at. So you've got use animation, and you've got a few settings which personally I don't use, but if you want to, you can. One of the main ones, especially for people with some degree of kind of visual impairment or something such as that, might be the interface zoom. So with that, you can alter how large the actual interface is. Personally, I use it at 100%. That's because I find it comfortable to do that, but some might not. So you've also got the window background image. So you can use a image in regards to kind of the window of the actual browser. So given that I've got quite a dark theme, it doesn't make too big an impact, but you can alter the image that you want to have. So it's a bit like having a theme on Firefox or Chrome. You've then got once you've selected an image, so you've got some options in regards to how the image is scaled on the actual window itself. So down here, you've got a few options mainly in regards to, I'd say, people with some degree of kind of colour blindness or visual impairment, it may help with. So got contrast adjustments, so that really just helps to dial up the contrast. So if you do have, for example, a visual impairment, that means that you do find kind of low contrast colours and images difficult to make out, you can really crank up the contrast to make it all stand out a bit more. So you got some options in regards to foreground colours that are used, and you've also got some options in regards to how the menu is laid out, and also menu icon. So you'll see I've got it here selected as Vivaldi button for the position and the Vivaldi icon. So that is up here, click on the Vivaldi icon, brings up the menu with a few of the other settings, as it were, that you don't normally see. Then going on to the main kind of element in regards to how it looks is themes. So you've got pre-installed themes. Personally, I have one for dark, but if you prefer lighter colours, go for a brighter colour scheme, one with maybe a bit more pop of colour. Or if you really want, you can actually create your own. So you can select the colours that you want for it and select them on the colour picker as well. Or if you know the kind of miracle code for it, you can use that there as well. Not too keen on kind of tinkering, mainly because I find that the dark theme works well for me. You can also as well use a kind of automatically changing theme between daytime and nighttime. So you can have no schedule, so that will keep to your theme, or you can have it follow the operating system theme. So if your OS, if you're running Windows 10, uses light theme during the day, dark theme at night, you can have it reflect that. Or you can even schedule the theme to change at specific times if you want as well. So a few browsers now are doing this, where they're integrating a lot of the Razer Chroma features. You can integrate that as well. I don't have any Razer Chroma items to sync it with, so that can stay off for me, but you can sync the colours and such to your Razer Chroma gear. Depending on how kind of active you've got your Chroma stuff, it may be a little bit overwhelming on a colours basis, but that'd be for you to tinker with and have a look at yourself. It's got Philips Hue theme integration as well, so if you've got Philips Hue lighting, you can have it change depending on the Philips Hue theme you've got set up. Now, a few of the things that Vivaldi offers that don't really feel like other browsers do is, especially in regards to tabs. So you've got several tab positions. So personally, I prefer them at the top. It's just a kind of standard layout, growing used to it. There are arguments for and against in regards to where you have your tabs and how you work as well. But if I wanted them on the left hand side, there we go, vertical tab integration. And at the moment, at least, Edge is pushing that as well. This is something that Vivaldi has had for a long time now. Or have them all on the bottom, if you prefer to work that way. Right hand side. I said personally, like them on the top, just the way I'm used to working. Got lots of settings in regards to how tabs and such are handled, and I would say there's a few too many settings really to go into. So there's lots and lots of settings really, just in regards to how the browser operates. The one as well is in regards to the start page. So when you open a new tab, this is your kind of start page. You can have a standard background color, or you can have an image. So, for example, if I select beach, Then it changes background behind all the suggested tabs. So beach, can't say I'm too keen on it, but that's me. If you really want it as well, kind of reflect your desktop. So for example, I've got a changing desktop background, so that will then change with my desktop background as well. And a few options in regards to how that image is scaled, things such as that. Then also on the start page, there are options in regards to how the tiles show up, number of columns, and thumbnails, and how they all kind of operate. And one that also does make it a lot easier as well is drag and drop reordering. So for example, if I want to move my Amazon one around, I can. And it's nice and easy as well, which is brilliant. But kind of getting to the more kind of meaty part of why Vivaldi personally is such a fantastic browser is, so bookmarks and other settings are in this bar on the left hand side. So you've got bookmarks, downloads, notes, so you can actually have notes from within your browser. So if you do a lot of research, things such as that, it's a fantastic little tool that is built right in to Vivaldi. You can categorize all of your notes as well. And you've got your browsing history. You've got windows as well. So this is all really in regards to kind of history as well. You can search through that as well. One feature though that is, I think, kind of unique amongst browsers and is especially useful for creatives. So if you do photography, you will more than likely have an Instagram account. If you do, then one kind of tricky part of it is that if you use a DSLR as opposed to a phone, then you may find that uploading to Instagram is a bit of a pain, and you have to kind of have a few workarounds. Now Vivaldi can allow you to get around that in a very clever way. So here I've got Instagram. So if I click that, it opens up this window, which is a mobile window. So with that, it actually opens up a window that is, in essence, a copy of the mobile view of Instagram, and you've got access to all of the tools and features that you would. So if I wanted, for example, to upload something to Instagram, I could by using this. So I have to hit upload and away you go. Now you can set up multiple kind of web containers, as they're called, for different websites. So if you find that there's a mobile or web version of a website that has features that a desktop version doesn't, you could set up a web panel that would allow you access to those features, and it opens in not too intrusive a way either. So for example, if we go onto this other tab here and then do that again, just opens it up, but it then shifts your main content to the right hand side. You can then resize this as well. Close that down. So that's quite nifty how it is all kind of to the side. It's not intrusive, but it does give you quick access to probably the most used things. You can also then add more web panels and things such as that as well. So down here as well, you may notice got sync. So most browsers now have some form of cross-platform sync feature. Vivaldi is no different in regards to that. So you can sync it across multiple devices. So sync tabs, passwords, things such as those, which is fantastic now, given that most people have several devices. You can hide that panel or bring it back. Then you've got settings in regards to main settings. and then there's a few of the little buttons that are hidden down here. So here, so for example, if you're doing a lot of research, as mentioned earlier, you come across an article that you really like and want to take a screenshot of it, you can use the screenshot features of your operating system, or you can, with Vivaldi, capture a screenshot within the browser as well. So if I was to click capture page, you can then select if you want to capture the whole page or just a section of it. And you can then also choose what format you want to save it to. So for example, if I did selection and save as JPEG and do capture, it gives you a cross so you can select the part that you want to capture. So I just want to select that bit, do capture selection, and it then saves it onto your drive. So if we open that up and let that load, there we go. But there's a few other features as well. So if I want a few tabs open but in an easier to view way, I can, so I want to read, for example, the blog for Vivaldi, but also look at, for example, series home, and also read a Guardian article, not Guardian, independent even. I can select the browser, then control, click, control, click, and down here you've got page tiling. If we select that, and then, for example, if we do vertically, you've got 3 tabs, all vertically arranged. But if I want to change that, for example, to horizontal, or even put it into a grid, or just back to normal. So, especially from a research point of view, it's fantastic to be able to do that. It means you can have several articles or pages open at once, and allows you to kind of go between each one very easily. So there are also a few other quite cool tools down here as well. So especially for those on a kind of less speedy internet connection, there are times where you want to limit kind of the amount of images and bump, as it were, that is loaded when you go to a website. Now, a lot of people use things like ad blockers or some form of kind of scripting to block content from loading either at all or just on certain websites. Now, Vivaldi has a few tools built in that does that. So down, once again, at the bottom right here, you've got toggle images and animations. So you've got load images or play animation. So if I select never for loading images, it gets rid of quite a few images from the page. So if you're on a very media heavy page, so it's taking ages to load, if you select never, it would help cut down the amount that the web browser has to actually load up for you. And especially where GIFs and such are, and animations, you can then select to have them either loop, so just play continuously, never load, or play once and then stop once again. If you are either on a kind of capped internet plan or have a slower speed, they are tools that can massively help in regards to allowing you to access web content quickly and easily. You've also got a little section here called page actions. Now, click that and it brings up this big list of various things. Now, some of these are going to be tools that developers or kind of web designers may look at, but others are kind of a little bit fun, but others may have use depending on your personal situation. So, for example, if we to go down to filter black and white, places a black and white filter on the page. And these are kind of page exclusive filters, these. So if I do filter black and white, once again, we'll filter all the colours. Go back, it's already on that tab. Got loads of different ones. One that is kind of quite interesting, I find, is the filter obscure. So if we click that, then blurs the page content when the cursor isn't hovered over it. So for example, if you had something up you didn't actually want somebody to see, you could put that on, move the mouse cursor away to one side, but then when you hover it back over, it comes back into focus. Got a few other filters as well. You can also change the font to a monospace font as well. Some people like monospace fonts. Personally, I think they're a little bit clunky to look at, but it's all personal preference. Also got a page mini map here. So with this, brings up a little kind of map, as it were, of how the page is kind of roughly laid out. So, for example, on the mini map here, you can see big blocks, and then you've got some smaller sections there. And also it allows you to scroll down as well. So if you're on, for example, a one-page website, it'd be really helpful to have that. Now on certain news sites, things such as that as well, you don't always want to see a lot of all of this that kind of shows up. So one thing you can do is go to page actions and go to reader view. Now, show you fully independent, it's not too fantastic due to how the pages are done, but it does kind of help to strip down a lot of the kind of media content from it and make it a little bit easier to read the article. A couple of cool little features as well. So you got skewed images, does exactly what it says on the tin, it skews all the images. Then you've got a transform 3D, where it transforms the web page into a 3D or kind of skewed perspective version of it. Once again, not too many use cases for that, but for some may find it just quite interesting. So earlier as well, we had a kind of zoom feature for the whole of the interface. You've also got a zoom slider for just the web pages as well. If you go between as well, that can be a per tab setting. So it's going to reset the zoom on that. And one thing as well, mentioned earlier, that is Chromium based. So that does mean that the extensions for Chrome do work for Vivaldi. So if we do Vivaldi extensions, so it does have a whole web page in regards to how to use extensions. So there is a bit of a kind of hurdle to some degree at times, but generally just have to go to the Chrome Web Store and then install them. Now you see as well that when I right click on a tab or a link, you've got a few options. So you've got open link in new tab. That will open it in a new tab, but it will also then switch focus to that tab straight away. You've got open link in new background tab as well. Now this is a feature I really like about Vivaldi, because sometimes I just want to open something in a new tab, but I don't want to look at it right away. Open it in new background tab, it opens it, as you can see, opens it up here, it loads it, but then just keeps it there, ready for when you want to look at it. It's got open link, which then just opens the link in your current tab. And if we just go back and then go down again, So you got new window, new private window as well. So it does support incognito browsing as well. Got a few other things such as bookmarking it, add that link to a web panel so you can open that link in a web panel that you mentioned earlier. Got the usual kind of save link, copy link address, then got a few elements related to extensions that I've got installed. Let's do full screen and inspect as well. So in regards to actually inspecting the code of the website. So can turn that off. So it's just going back to extensions. So go to the Chrome Web Store. It very much is just as simple as selecting an extension, click add to Chrome. So it shows up as Chrome. Click add extension, let it check it, download, install. There we go. So that is now installed. So click that, agree to the latest there, and then simply use the extension as you would within Chrome. So nifty little extension just installed. Doing the speed test from Ookla. Looking like my internet speed isn't doing too bad at the moment at all. More than enough for what I need it. Not too bad ping. Downloads not bad at all, and upload speed isn't too shabby either for home broadband. So there's some of the main reasons why personally I've switched over to Vivaldi. You can also see as well there are the option to pin tabs as well. So I wanted to pin a certain tab, do pin tab, pinned it to the left here, and you can then also have it so that your pin tabs load automatically when you open the browser. So I'm going to unpin that. And you got kind of certain features in regards to tabs as well, so you can hibernate background tabs so they're not taking up browser resources either. And I'll say it really is a case of that Vivaldi is massively powerful as a browser. I think not most people won't use all of the features of it, but I think that's very true of any technology. Not many people really use technology to its absolute fullest, but that is absolutely fine. But I would give Vivaldi a go if you've never used it before. So it's a very solid alternative to Chrome and Firefox, especially for kind of more power users and people who just like to be able to tinker a bit and have a bit more control with their web browsing experience. Now, it's not to say I don't use any other browsers. I do mainly use Opera and also Firefox as well. I use Firefox nightly, mainly because the fact that I like the fact that the default theme is dark, and also I'm a bit of a kind of obsessive when it comes to wanting to have most up-to-date software. Firefox Nightly is very much kind of Firefox's alpha/beta releases, and just kind of has lots of updates, but it does have a few extensions that the Chrome Web Store doesn't have. Opera, mainly use that because of the fact that it has a built-in VPN. That's something that I think any other browser really has baked into it. Closest to it really would be the Tor browser, which is a fork of Firefox. But so I'd recommend to give Vivaldi a go. Have a look, check it out. By all means, have a look at the Vivaldi website and just kind of check it out. They're a small company in relation to a lot of other browsers, but they are very committed and very kind of people focused as well. So you can see a lot of kind of posts within their blog here that I don't think a lot of other browsers really would kind of look at. They've got a lot of content based on various themes that might be interesting to you. Got a lot of kind of community base as well. They do have a merchandise store, and as I said, really as a browser it is fantastic. There are lots of other kind of big names that do kind of use Vivaldi and do recommend it as well, but I find it's always best to hear kind of recommendations from people who use it, and also people who aren't necessarily getting paid to use it as well. So check it out, see what you think, use it for a week or two. If you don't like it, fine, carry on using whatever browser you feel comfortable with. But I think given how web focused we all are now, having a browser that reflects how you use the web but also gives you the tools and power to make it your own is massively important. So thank you ever so much for listening today, guys, and do hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Keep safe, and at the moment, stay indoors.